Well, we began with a decision taken by Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu in order to alleviate tax burden on Nigerians and their businesses. The president signed 4 executive orders suspending some taxes. Special advisor to the president on special duties, communication and strategy, Dele Alake, who led members of the administration's revenue team to brief State House reporters at the presidential villa Abuja, disclosed this. According to Alake, the first executive order is the Finance Act Effective Date Variation Order 2023, which will now commence on September 1st, 2023. The second is the Customs Excise Tariff Variation Amendment Order 2023, which has also shifted to August 1st, 2023. Alake said the president has given an order suspending the 5% excise tax on telecommunications services, excise duties, escalation on locally manufactured products, and the newly introduced green tax by way of excise tax on single-use plastics, including plastic containers and bottles. He informed that the president has ordered the suspension of import tax adjustment levy on certain vehicles. Well, I have 2 gentlemen joining me to discuss this. One is Shitu Kabir Mohammed, policy analyst and former presidential candidate. And in the studio here in Lagos, I have a lawyer, Justice Ojeno, joining us.
My pleasure.
Mr. Shitu, let me begin with you. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thank you.
All right. So, you know, Nigerians are currently under a lot of financial stress with the removal of the fuel subsidy. Some believe this move by the president will, in a way, help alleviate a little of the pain experienced by the citizens. Do you agree?
For us, good evening, Nigerian. Before election and after election, I was in this studio and I told Nigerians that we must exercise patience, we must cooperate with the government because there are policies that will come up that we have to be patient as a country. It's just like you want to eat egg and then you have to break it before you eat it. So for now, the pains we are going through, I believe, is temporary. And very soon, Nigerians will see the goods that will come out of it. First of all, as a Nigerian, we must commend Mr. President and in the area of this dropping of these tariffs, the excise duties, and because these are what would alleviate the suffering that Nigerians are going through. You can see the telecommunication tariff, which will have heightened our more pains, and then you can see this issue of manufacturers, the multiple taxation, which has affected us, me in particular. And I'll give an example. Immediately this was introduced, I was sitting in my new factory. I'm putting up a flour mill here in Idu, Nigeria, here, Abuja. And within 1 week, they brought 5 bills to me. One, they told me environmental bill, 1.5 million. 2, they came and said that tenement this. 3, they told me I have to pay for environment, a lot of, and within 1 week, I got 5 million naira tax, and I've not even started operating the flour mill. So I have to rush to municipal local government in Abuja here to complain. So with the removal of all these taxes, for me, I'm very, very happy because it's uncalled for. He has already give us some breathing space for us, because I think start telling my friends, can I go into can Nigeria industrialize with all these tariffs? And that is why we cannot compete with foreign product. Some people they believe just get your money go to China or India or where and bring in the goods. All you need to do is to pay custom duty, and by the time you look at the differences, you find out Nigeria is more expensive. You need to buy fuel, you need to buy diesel to fuel your generator. You need to now pay these multiple taxes. So we commend Mr. President for this noble stand he has took. It takes courage, and then we must, as Nigerians, as industrialists, as politicians, support these policies and then be able to now join hands and build a country that works for us. It is time for us to look at our industry, industrialize Nigeria as these duties, and then as Mr. President go further and in looking at those they need to implement within 1st August and other, we also want to urge Mr. President that they should look at it critically and then be able to do away with it, because it's time for us to power our industry. It's time for us to promote industrialization. It's time for us to close our border, especially in area of importing what we have in Nigeria. With these policies, I believe the industrialists are very, very, very happy. For me, I'm very, very happy. If you look at the telecommunication tax, it affects me even before now. When I manufacture free decoders for the MBC project, and
all right, Mr. Mohammed, I'll get back to you. We still have so much to talk about. Let me come to you now, Justice. Let's talk about the price hike of prices or price hikes. You and I know that whenever the price of any commodity, gets increased, it's really, goes back to the normal price. Now, experts are stressing the importance of regulatory management, to come in and, arrange the policy, this policy made by the president, to control it. So I want to ask you, how much does this regulatory organization require? How much is required of them to have this thing under control?
Okay, for me, I think it's going to be a very, very difficult one. It's only a few products in the market that can actually and should be regulated, and a good example is the petroleum, PMS, for example. Other things, as much as possible, shouldn't be regulated in order not to stifle innovation. The marketplace should be encouraged the marketplace should be compensated to its very best. With geniuses should be allowed, patents should be allowed, copyright should be allowed in the market space, so that ideas shouldn't be killed in their infancy. If we allow regulatory boards to call the shot for all products or all commodities in the market, it will practically take us back to communism. And communism has been known not to work. It's capitalism, regulated capitalism that lifts people out of poverty. No matter how theoretical the communists or the socialists think that a society can exist and succeed on paper, in practice it has been shown to engender and to put in place serious poverty. Go to communist China, go to China before the time of the predecessor of Xi Jinping, who introduced capitalism and Western style economics into the Chinese system. Go to USSR, a lot of people died. Go to North Korea, that are trying to produce everything within themselves, within their country for themselves, and not allow the markets to freely dictate. Everybody, there's serious poverty usually in the land, so we cannot go to, long and short, we can't go to an economy where everything is regulated. There's only a few things that should be regulated as much as possible. Like I always say, the government should have no place in business. The government should just put the enabling environments in place, and entrepreneurs will chase away poverty.
All right. Right now, let's take a short break. Our Newsweek continues in a moment. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. There was a pandemonium in Enugu State during the week following reports of shooting by unknown gunmen who allegedly invaded a town to enforce a one-week sit-at-home order. The group had said the order was part of efforts to secure the release of the indigenous people of Biafra leader Nnamdi Kanu from detention. Enugu residents had deferred the order after the state government threatened to close down markets, schools, and other institutions that comply with the restriction. The places affected included Artisan, Emene, New Haven, Ababa, Abani Road, and the Noah's area in Transekulu and Maryland. While the pandemonium lasted, joint teams of police and soldiers patrolled and took positions at strategic locations in the city. When normalcy was restored, most people did not return to their businesses. But the state government assured residents of their safety, stressing that the ban on the sit-at-home in the state subsists. As you have Shitu Kabiru Mohammed, policy analyst and a former presidential candidate, and Justice Ojino in the studio to have this discussion with me. Mr. Mohammed, let me come to you. You know that some governors in the southeast have made an attempt to stop this menace to no avail, but it actually still persists. Why do you think this still exists? What are this state executive doing wrong?
Thank you. For us, we believe that security is bane of governance. Security, welfare of the citizens, and luckily for us, I say luckily because we have General Lagbaja, which is known for no nonsense throughout where he has served, and we can see what he did in Kaduna when he get there. The relative peace we have in Kaduna, Abuja Road, that. You have a national security advisor who is a police, although, but he has seen it all. He has practiced outside this country in a very more dangerous terrain than what we have today. I believe they will not allow this to continue. You must secure the southeast. We must put all measure, because it's a joke taken too far. You can't, a small area cannot take the country for a ride. So I urge our security operatives and the National Security Advisor and the service chiefs, this is one biggest challenge they have, to end these killings in the East. And they have to stop this issue of every Monday everybody must sit at home. I don't think the citizens want to be going through all this horrible experience, and therefore our military must stand up to the situation. And luckily, the country has gotten sophisticated weapons. I see no reason why they will allow these people to reign. It's time, and now with the new regime, with the new resolve, I believe that we can take them out. We have no alternative as a country than to secure this country, because you can industrialize where you have a security problem. You can bring in investment. Nobody wants to invest in an area that is not secured. And the majority of the Eastern population will not want this to continue. So I urge the government
Mr. Mohammed, let me
to take the bull by the horn and clear these people out of way.
All right, I'll come back to you. Just as you know, it's been reported that Simon Ekpa was, reported to be given this order, and he actually lives in Finland. Do you see the government intervening? the government of Finland?
For me, I think at some point he was arrested and investigations were conducted and he was released. I think that this is the time for diplomatic pressure to actually be put on the government of Finland, given the influence that this particular element has on the peace, order, and good governance of 5 states in eastern Nigeria. It's, like has been said, it's the voice of a minority. I don't believe that the most entrepreneurial, even though it may be arguable, the most entrepreneurial ethnic society, ethnic group in this country is being made to sit at home on the first economic day of the week, forcefully made to sit at home. And this one is even worse because it was a week-long stay. So I feel that diplomatic pressure should be put on the government of Finland, not just by the government of Nigeria, because it is in the interest of the international community that Nigeria succeeds as a country. It is not in their interest that maybe a section of Nigeria fails or Nigeria fails. So in as much as the prosperity of the largest country and economy in Africa is of such a crucial nature, then we must do everything we can to ensure that we safeguard it. And people, I'm now talking to other people, at some point, the people of Eastern Nigeria have to stand up to these few people and look them in the eye and tell them that no matter what you do, you cannot impose the will of a minority on the majority. So as much as possible, I think they should press, and the governors too, they shouldn't slow down, because we've seen that the governors are now being frontal about it. They are going to the people and they are actually now trying to counter the kind of force and influence and power that the minority is having, the minority that's using excessive force. Non-state actors are using, so like has also been suggested, military and much less the military interference. Our secret service should come more into play. Our police, much more than ever, because it is the job of the police to ensure that civil matters are handled. But of course, when pursuant to Section 217 of our Constitution, when the territorial integrity of the country is being threatened.
You know, I was going to ask about what you think about the federal government's intervention to really put this to a stop. Nigerians are already going through a lot, and sit at home, you know, does not just make sense.
Yes.
How do you think the federal government can intervene?
Yeah, the Nigerian military should be more strategic. Yeah, they have been at it for a while now. They should be more strategic. They should sit down. They shouldn't be tired of sitting down, because even countries that have the most peace will always have challenges. That's the reason why we must always have government. It is said that if all men were angels, there would be no need for government. So the reason why there is government is because there are challenges amongst human beings. So the federal government should always, of course, I saw what the president did recently, gave marching orders to the freshly constituted security chiefs and told them that all these security challenges must be nipped in the bud. So I feel that the army, the police, the secret, particularly intelligence, secret service should be more at work to ensure that whatever intelligence is needed to be gathered should be gathered in order to actually nip this in the bud once and for all, because the people of Southeast deserve better.
All right. Okay, gentlemen, let's move to our final story for tonight. Embattled Anambra candidate Mesome Jikeme has admitted to a panel of independent investigators set up by the Anambra state government that she forged her 2023 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination results. In the report made available to journalists in Abuja by the spokesperson of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, the panel noted that Mesoma did not give any reason for the forgery. And to discuss this, I still have the two gentlemen in the studio. Let me come to you, Mr. Mohammed. What was your first response to this development in this issue of Mesoma's JAMB result? What do you think lured Mesoma into such an act?
We believe that for us, it's a very, very sad moment that the society is rotting to the extent that you have a young lady of 18, 19 forging results just to show to the world that she has scored highest point. And then you find out that JAMB were able to come out clean in this exercise. And then the father of the lady has come out to apologize that he was misled by his own daughter. And I think it goes beyond that. It tells us that we have to now start looking at the activities of our children, and that as we are getting westernized, that communal living, communal life that we grow and we Africans are known of, which is getting eroded out of our destiny. We should not allow urbanization to take it away. Because when we're growing, you find out that child, if you are a child, you're going to school, the community where you are, everybody look on you. They look, if you are going to school, you are not going to school. There are mechanisms with which the community will shape your life. That is being eroded, and it is not good for our society. We have to look at our children. We have to make sure that what we as a parent are doing, our children are emulating us. So it calls for reflection on the families, that to see that you put your children you teach them a moral, and then let them know that the future does not belong to those that shortcut, but the future belongs to those that are serious. And then it also teach us and let us look inward on our examination bodies, on our in conducting their examinations. They should take proper measure in making sure that people does not beat their own system to be able to come up with this type of frivolous or this type of forgery. It is
all right. We're almost out of time.
On our
Mohammed,
examination body. Thank you.
I just want to thank you for your contributions so far on the topics. Thank you for coming on the show. All right, let me come back to you. You know, there are these concerns about how Nigerians, sided against JAMB, without even proper investigation, and even an automobile company gave her scholarship and all of that. What does this say about our people? Okay,
for me, it's not only our people. I think it's bankruptcy of trust against the institutions of government. And it didn't start now. It has always been there. Oh. Governments, to a large extent, have lied to the people. And there's another issue of, she enjoyed so much innocence because she looked like a child. She looked the part of a person.
19-year-old is not a child anyway.
Yeah, maybe not, but she looked so the part. And if you are not a person that's grounded in evidence, maybe like lawyers or judges that have seen so many people that sound innocent and can beat the public, cannot easily beat them, you will also fall easily into the trap. So because she looked the part of a very, very innocent and how do I even say it now? Most people just believe. We as lawyers and as judges, as people in the judiciary, we always believe in strong, hard evidence, cold, hard facts. So don't just give me the crocodile tears, don't give me the lies. So it doesn't work on people of our calling as easily as it works on the larger populace. And that's why I call on the populace. Whenever there is an allegation, we shouldn't just pass judgment. And we shouldn't feel that, okay, because something is popular, it is right, it is truthful, it is correct. As much as possible, we should avoid what we call sub judice, which is coming to a decision before a court of law or a set of persons, a form of subjudice, a set of persons who are tasked to investigate the truthfulness or otherwise of a particular matter, come out with their white paper or their conclusion on such issues. And this also goes to show that institutions of government are not always wrong.
Exactly.
The fact that we have bankruptcy of trust over the years doesn't mean that, okay, everything government says or an arm or institution of government says should be rubbish. So we should wait.
I have to go.
We should wait. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution. I've been speaking with Shitu Kabir Mohammed. He joined me via Zoom, policy analyst and a former presidential candidate. And I have here in the studio with me Justice Ojeno, a lawyer. And as well, I just want to say thank you too for being a part of the show. But remember, you can follow the conversation on our social media platforms at TVC News NG or on our website at tvcnews.tv. I am Jacinta Agochukwu. Until next week, it's goodbye.